Welcome back, guys. If you are watching this video as your first video, we are doing International Women's Day themed videos where we're looking at an amazing woman who's accomplished great things. And my choice for these videos is Sylvia Mulinge, because in my view, she's the woman who has done amazing things that I personally look up to. So sorry guys, I know you have yours, but this one is mine. And I am a corporate woman. I have 3 kids and I have something we call mom guilt, as in even to be here for this interview, I'm thinking, I've not seen my children, they're waiting for me, and I just constantly have guilt. So I want to ask Sylvia a few questions where mommyhood is concerned in this corporate journey. Hi Sylvia.
Hi.
Thank you once again. So yeah, I think I've built the background for you, like it's a real thing for me, and I would imagine that, you know, with the different things that you're doing, you have this huge job that must be demanding time-wise, and then you're an entrepreneur as well. How do you balance being mom and being this corporate woman who's so successful?
Okay, thank you for your kind words. I guess time will tell what success is. And I say that deliberately because I guess everyone has their own definition of success. I'm grateful for the blessings that I have received in my corporate space, but I guess I cherish some things a lot more. I cherish being a mom. That's one of my best titles. I have 2 wonderful children that I've been blessed with. And I guess in terms of trying to figure out how you drive a balance, I don't think I balance, and I don't try to pretend that I balance. But what I do is I integrate, right? I integrate my children into my life, and I also integrate my life into my children. And the reason why I do that is because I believe, you know, as much as I love my kids, to be quite honest, I really can't take care of them fully. I can't be with them 24/7, 365 in everything that they do in their life. And therefore, what I see myself is as a steward of their dreams, a steward of their passions, a steward of the things that they want to become, and all the possibilities that actually lie in them. And that is what I spend energy focusing on. And therefore, in terms of how I allocate my time, I believe that what you value and what you treasure, you give it time. Yeah? You allocate your time based on how you place different value on the different things that you have to do. So I value my children, and I give them time. But if I was to say that I spend 10 hours at work and 10 hours with my kids, that is practically not possible. So what I normally do is, if there's stuff that is going on at work, my kids know about work. So every week we normally have a highlights and a lowlights conversation. So what was your highlight for the week? What was your lowlight? What do you want us to pray about for this week? And many times at that particular time, if I have things that are going on at work, I'll tell them about it. If something was a highlight at work or a lowlight, I'll talk about it. So they understand what's going on in my life. And I also do the same for them. So I also understand what's also going on in their lives. And we come together, we pray about it, and we follow up on each other. My son is in boarding, and he calls me every evening. And one of the things, you know, he's in his preteens or teenage years, and when he calls me, I ask him, how was your day? He says, it was good. And one of the rules that we had was, don't tell me it was good, you have to qualify what is a good. And the amazing thing is that he now plays the same back to me. When he calls me, sometimes I don't feel like talking, and he says, hi mama, how's your day? And I say, it was good, maybe I'm tired, I want to go to bed. He says, no, what do you mean it was good? So that then provokes conversation. And I think when you integrate your life with their lives, then it becomes one kind of seamless journey and much easier to bear.
Do you think we give ourselves too much pressure?
I think we do. And also, I think we also have to realize that it's not just about mummies, it's about mummies and daddies. So what is the role of the dad? What is the role of the mom? How do you distribute the responsibility? But also, even as mummies, just learning how to build a support ecosystem around us. Because you may not always be there to pick them, but at least build a support ecosystem that ensures that they get picked on time, they get home early, there's food in the house, because maybe you're late at work. Because sometimes I think the pressure we put on ourselves as women, we try to do everything. You want to be the cook, you want to be the driver, you want to be the one who's doing shopping, you want to be the one who is taking care of their clothes. You can't do all that. And doing all those things do not make you a good mom. At the end of the day, all you just have to do is to ensure that
Amen. You need to say that again. Say it again. Sorry, I'm interrupting, but I need you to say it again. Doing those things.
Yeah, it doesn't make you a better mom. Yeah. At the end of the day, if you ask your kids what they remember about you, it's about the moments that you spend. So all that stuff that is not necessary, just outsource it if you can. Some women can't, but as much as you can, try and outsource it. I personally don't spend time going to the supermarket to shop. I mean, that doesn't add any value to my life. It's time consuming. I don't enjoy it. I just outsource it to somebody to...
And they know the brands you like. And
yeah. So I also don't enjoy driving. I used to a long time ago, but I don't anymore. So I'd rather spend that quality time having a conversation with them. So I think it's just figuring out those things. And then just remember at the end of the day, if they're asked, why do you love your mommy? They won't say it's because she shops or she washes or whatever. But it's just about the interconnectedness that you have with them, which is what counts in the long term.
You know, you've made some statements that are just so freeing. They're very freeing. But at the same time, seeing the society that we're from, you know, that we're African, and someone says, Ati, you don't go to the market because you don't go to the market and you're a mom and you have a home, and how is it that you don't even do that? How do you manage that expectation people have of you as Sylvia the mom, that maybe unrealistic, it's ridiculous, but it's there, and so people judge you in a certain way? Yeah.
If you look at a lot of my handles on social, I have one description. I say I live for the audience of one. The world is my stage, the Lord is my audience, I live for the audience of one. I mean, if you try to live up to people's expectations, you will always disappoint them. And I think you'll also fail yourself. At the end of the day, you need to have a very strong sense of purpose, you need to have a very strong sense of identity, and you also need to manage your energy, right? What are you allocating your energy to? Which therefore requires you to draw boundaries. When you begin to draw boundaries, inevitably what will happen then is that you will fail the expectations of some people, and you have to be comfortable with that. I read somewhere, somebody once said that you need to figure out what is your big yes, because as you say and make room for that big yes in your life, inevitably then you will create a lot of no's to other things that are not important. So you kind of need to figure out your North Star and what's that yes. And then once you say that big yes, it becomes much easier to say a lot more no's to everything else that is not important. Because at the end of the day, I mean, one of the things I really think a lot about is my life when I'm gone, right? When I leave, because death is certain, like taxes, right? So when we are all gone, what will you be remembered for? And therefore, the things that you want to be remembered for, is that what you're investing your time in now, right? Because people will put pressure on you. They'll say, we want you here, we want you there. Sometimes people invite me for events. I can't make all of those. I also need to conserve my energy. I also need to preserve myself. I need to take care of my children. I need to be at home. Sometimes we work hard to buy homes that we never spend time in, right? Which doesn't make sense, and that's not a quality life. So I think inevitably everybody has to figure out what is it that you are living for. If you want to live with a legacy mindset, the things that you want to be remembered for, is that what you're applying your time to now? The relationships that you have. I can count the people in my inner circle. They're very few, right? Who do you let into your personal space? And then how do you just manage your energies? And then also be very careful to just make sure that you also do not allow a lot of negative energy. I like to be aware about what's happening in the world, but I also don't feed myself with a lot of negative news, because that just
drains you.
It just drains you. Yeah. So it's about being deliberate and intentional about who you want to be.
And I want us to talk about that next. How can you be deliberate about who you want to be? The purpose conversation, that's what we're going to do next. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. This is Rina Hicks, and you are watching MoneyWise.